against the Jets. The Jets are our hardest team in the league to figure out because they really don't have that deep or talented a squad. But somehow Rex Ryan gets them to play well, and they did well last year, and they outperformed everybody's expectations. Eli Manning, I don't know if this guy hit the wall and he's done, but changing offenses has not worked. They brought in Palmer. I think it was Palmer, head offensive coordinator. I can't remember if I have the right name, but they changed the offense to a West Coast offense, and it's just not meshing for Eli. And look for Coughlin to make some changes if this doesn't work in week 3, because they do not look like they're ready for primetime football. Oakland is Oakland. That's who they are. They're at Green Bay this week, 7-point underdog. Aaron Rodgers he's one of the best guys. And when you watch a Peyton Manning or a Tom Brady or a Aaron Rodgers or a Luck or Breeze, you're looking at the primo guys in this league, and they're hard to find. There's only 5 or 6 of them at this time, and the rest of them kind of also runs. Chicago and Seattle, that's going to be a little bit of war. Seattle just doesn't lose at home. They're very physical, very tough, but Chicago's got a pretty good team, so that's going to be interesting. But long term, Chicago will be in the battle with Green Bay to win that division. Seattle, right now, they're a bigger favorite than they were to win their division than when the preseason started, because San Francisco looks absolutely horrible. Now, I don't know if they're holding back, but I don't think they're holding back. I mean, they opened up a stadium last week. I think they came out there to try to win, but Gabbert looks terrible. So if he's not the backup, who should be the backup? Well, I think Minnesota, who has Castle, Bridgewater, who both look pretty decent, and Bridgewater as a rookie looks really good. I think they're going to cut Ponder. But if they cut Ponder, then he's got to get picked up by somebody, and I think San Francisco should pick up Ponder as the backup to Kaepernick. I think it's a perfect fit. He manages the game well, and I don't think they can go into the season with Gabbert as a backup quarterback, because if something happens to Kaepernick, he is not going to win games for you. Dallas, the defense is a mess. The offensive line for Miami, I'm not sure, has improved. I like Tannehill, but you can't throw the ball if you're on the ground 58 times in a year. So I can't knock that. We knock quarterbacks a lot, but it has to do with receivers catching the ball when you hit them in their hands. God forbid you should hit them in the hands, or an offensive line that can't protect you and give you a little bit of time to find your receivers and step forward and make a throw. Tennessee, Atlanta this week. Both these teams. I would have to say Atlanta, you have to expect to have a much better season after what happened last year, the injuries, et cetera, et cetera. They're going to step up and have a better year. I don't think they're going to unseat Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. But Tennessee, that's a real question mark. I really don't have much to say about Tennessee. Washington, RG3, I think, is going to be a bust. I don't think he makes it through the season. He might be a 5 or 6 game guy. And somebody's going to hurt this kid. I mean, he doesn't know how to slide. I don't know. Send him to baseball camp and teach him how to slide, for God's sake. I mean, it's horrible. And you can't take those kind of hits. These guys are big. They're strong, stronger than you. So they're going to Baltimore this week. That's a kind of down the road rivalry. They're very close together. But I'm not really talking about these games individually. I'm talking about the season. Baltimore, with the Ray Rice situation and all that stuff going on. Flacco's a fair quarterback, got a big contract offer what he did at the end of the season to win the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Team in transition, Baltimore. I think them and Pittsburgh will battle it out for second place. Cincinnati, I think, is going to be really, really good this year. New Orleans and Indianapolis, these are 2 good teams. Both of them should win their divisions. And for a lot of, I think the Saints are a better team. Indianapolis is going to need a little bit of work at some positions, but they really don't have much to beat in their division. So the Saints have a tougher road to hoe because there's better teams to beat, but they should both win their divisions. Minnesota, I don't know. I like the quarterback situation there with Castle and Bridgewater. They could do some damage. Kansas City's going to fall off the map. Last year they had 7 or 8 games against really low-tier quarterbacks and some of the worst teams in the league, and at the end of the year they absolutely fell apart, and I think they're going to fall apart this year. I do not think they're going to contend at all in the AFC West. St. Louis, Sam Bradford got a big contract when he came out of college, and I think he was the last one that got the really big signing bonus. He has been hurt off and on. I'm very disappointed. I think most people are very disappointed in his production, even when he's on the field. Obviously, the injuries do take away from that. But I'm not really looking for St. Louis. And I think Jeff Fisher might have had his run years ago, because at the end of what he did at Tennessee wasn't that good. And since he's been in St. Louis, it hasn't been that strong either. Cleveland, this is a mistake by the Lake folks. I mean, this team just keeps doing things wrong. And the drafting of Manziel, I think, was a big disruption. Yeah, if you want press, if you want people talking about you all the time, you got it. Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football, and I say Johnny Loser. They will not win with him if they even can get him on the field. Houston at Denver. Denver is going to be very good. Obviously, when you have Peyton Manning, you keep him healthy, and with that offense they have, and they added some defensive players, they're going to be very good. Is it possible somebody could take over that division from them? It is possible, but I think if it happens, it'll be San Diego. And Houston, I mean, they're going with Fitzpatrick at quarterback. They got a lot of changes down there. They lost 14 games in a row last year, and that's in your head. They came back last week in a preseason game, won 32-7. That was impressive, but this is preseason. I don't know what they're going to do. I think they have a lot of question marks. Yes, they depend on a good defense and a good running game. That can take you a long way. Look what it did for Seattle. Good defense, good running game, and a very smart quarterback that doesn't make mistakes. I'm not sure that's Fitzpatrick. So he's a smart guy, and he's had his moments, but he also makes mistakes, big mistakes. So I'm not too sure about that. But check in with me again next week. Again, I have a big play right here online. It'll be up in a couple of days. Make sure you stay tuned and cash in with me again this week.